Welcome to the heart of the Middle East, where the city of Tehran is not just the bustling capital with endless traffic jams, but a hidden complexity that most perceive superficially. A metropolis with a population of over 19 million people. It seems like it's just noisy streets and traditional attire, but behind this facade lie secrets that can change your perception of the country. Why, despite the stereotypes of a quarry city, does Tehran live and breathe, filled with active life, culture, and contradictions? What lies behind its modern facades and ancient markets, and how does it balance between the past and the future? At stake is our opportunity to understand what exactly makes this metropolis unique, and what invisible threads connect its residents to their rich history and complex fate. In this video, we will piece together all the fragments and reveal the true face of Tehran, a city that never ceases to amaze. And if you are ready to look beyond the veil of stereotypes and discover its true soul, then let's begin right now. In the heart of Persia, in the very center of Iran, sprawls a vast metropolis that at first glance seems like an endless wall of gray buildings, traffic jams, and hustle. Tehran, a city often perceived as a symbol of stagnation, limitation, and traditional strictness. But what lies behind this mask? Why are there so many stereotypes surrounding it? And what makes it truly alive, multifaceted, and unique? Here, among the noisy streets and quiet courtyards, a real confrontation occurs between the past and the future, between old traditions and the rapid pace of modern life. And all this in one city, in one place, at one time. Often, Tehran is perceived as a city with endless traffic jams, where people, stuck in daily routines, dream only of returning home quickly, of quiet evenings in cozy homes, of peace. A city where traditional culture seems worn out, almost disappearing under the onslaught of modern technologies and Western influences. But these perceptions are only part of the truth. In reality, more than 19 million residents of this metropolis create a complex, pulsating, and incredibly dynamic environment filled with contradictions and opportunities. Let's embark on a journey through the streets of Tehran to understand its true nature. Inside this city, there are not only concrete jungles, there is life that beats in every corner. Standing in one of its crowded neighborhoods, you can hear the resonant echo of conversations in Persian, Uzbek, Armenian, and Kurdish, a testament to the fact that Tehran is not only a political and economic center, but also a place where cultures, ethnicities, and traditions merge. It is a city where representatives of various nationalities live, each with their own history, dreams, and experiences. Let's start with the transportation system, one of the most accessible and busiest in the region. Tehran's metro is not just a means of transportation, it is a mirror of its social life. In the crowded carriages, there is a hum of voices, a mix of languages and accents, and a blend of aromas, from the scent of fresh bread to the perfumes that women carefully apply to their wrists and necks. There are designated areas for women, not just a separation, but a sign of respect for cultural nuances, although the separation is not mandatory. In this movement and separation lies a fine line between tradition and progress. A walk through the city's streets reveals another facet of Tehran. Here, among modern glass buildings, you can find people in jeans and t-shirts, while in the neighboring alleys, women in black chadors and blue hijabs. Fashion and tradition go hand in hand, creating a vibrant kaleidoscope of styles, where some enjoy coffee in modern cafes overlooking the city. Others gather in quiet teahouses to talk about life, love, and the future. These contrasts are a testament to the fact that Tehran is not a static phenomenon, but a living fabric woven from many threads. The city is not only the center of the country's political and economic life. Hidden within its depths are stories, legends, and mysteries. In every district, in every building, there are testimonies of past eras, ancient mosques, ruins of old caravanserais, markets where traders shout their wares, and, of course, the legendary Grand Bazaar, This bazaar is the heart of the city, its historical soul, a place where time seems to stand still. There, in the narrow corridors filled with the aromas of spices and fresh herbs, you can feel the breath of ancient routes along which caravans carried silk, spices, and secrets. However, despite the richness of history and cultural diversity, there is a central question. Why, despite stereotypes of the city as a quarry, is Tehran a place of rich culture, diversity, and vibrant life? Perhaps the answer lies in its ability to combine opposites. In this city, the past meets the future in every corner. Here, ancient palaces stand next to skyscrapers, and ancient traditions continue to live despite the pressure of time. In every district, there is a spirit of struggle, search, and hope, a testament to the fact that Tehran is not stagnant, it is constantly evolving. And finally, what does this metropolis hide behind its mask? What secrets do its streets, its people, and its legends hold? How has it managed to maintain its multi-layered, complex structure, combining ancient traditions with modern energy? Analysis shows that this is where its uniqueness lies. In this city, in its dynamics, contradictions, and harmonies, lies the meaning of its existence. Tehran is not just a city on the map. It is a living testament to how the past and present can coexist, creating a future filled with hope and challenges. To delve into its heart is to understand that the city not only lives, it breathes. Every street, every person, is part of a great story that continues. And this story holds evidence that even in the most seemingly petrified and static places, life, movement, and endless possibilities are hidden for those who can see beyond the facade. Tehran is not a city that can be understood at a glance. It is a city that must be felt, heard, and understood through its rhythm, its sense, and its legends. This city has its secrets, its challenges, and its victories. And it is in their combination that its true strength and eternal allure lie. At the heart of Tehran, in its very center, sprawls a giant labyrinth, the Grand Bazaar, or as the locals call it, Bazar-e-Bozorg. This is not just a market. It is a living legend, a testament of centuries, holding within it the memory of empires, cultural intersections, and the continuous struggle for survival. Its narrow streets, woven from bricks, covered with domes, arches, and courtyards, seem carved from history, and each of its cracks is a witness to time. Each discovery, an invitation to delve into the depths of epics. And in this labyrinth, like in the heart of an ancient Persian tale, there is not only trade, but also culture, politics, daily life, legends, and mysteries. Founded over 1,000 years ago, the Grand Bazaar has become a center not only of commerce, but of life. For centuries, it has evolved, changed, adapted to new challenges, while preserving its unique architectural soul. Located in the very center of the city, it occupies an area that by modern capital standards seems immense, about 10 square kilometers. In this space are hundreds of stalls, shops, and workshops where goods are sold that have become symbols of Persian craftsmanship and cultural wealth. Bright, colorful carpets with intricate patterns, aromatic spices that seem to have preserved the sense of ancient times, jewelry sparkling like stars, and antiques holding testimonies of bygone eras. Each shop is a separate universe, each product the result of long traditions passed down from generation to generation. Inside the bazaar, there is a special atmosphere, the sense of spicy mixtures, the rustle of fabrics, the clink of metal, the whisper of old pages, and the quiet murmur of vendors. Here is not a place for haste. Here, time flows differently, slower, richer, with shades of history. The architecture of the bazaar is a living monument, woven from domes, arches, and courtyards, adorned with bright tile mosaics that, despite the centuries, retain their freshness and beauty. These colonnades and halls are like corridors of memory, leading to the past, where each detail speaks of the craftsmanship of ancient engineers and artists. It is said that the market preserves trading traditions rooted in the Seljuk and Kordovan eras. Many shops are passed down from generation to generation, like family heirlooms, cementing the unique spirit of the communities. In these narrow corridors, significant events have taken place: political negotiations, cultural meetings, revolutionary speeches. The grandeur of the bazaar lies not only in its goods but also in its role as a witness to history. This is a place where people's destinies intersect, where every stone, every voice is part of the great mosaic of Iranian life. The Grand Bazaar is not just a commercial center. It is the heart of cultural life. Here, people communicate, share news, discuss ideas, find inspiration and solace. In the bustling shops, among the vibrant fabrics and aromatic spices, not only commerce thrives, but also the spirit of the people, their traditions, and dreams. Every morning, as the first rays of sunlight touch the domes, the market comes alive. The sounds of traders, calls, the clinking of coins, the whispers of conversations merge into the symphony of the ancient city. But why does the Grand Bazaar remain a living museum, a cultural center that connects the past and the present? Why, in the era of digital technology, globalization, and fast-paced life, does it continue to exist? Analysis shows that the reason lies in its ability to adapt while preserving its roots. In its narrow streets, behind every display, not only goods are stored but also the spirit of traditions that cannot be replaced by modern technologies or global markets. This market is a mirror of both history and modernity, a living testament that culture can survive, maintaining its identity even in the most challenging conditions. History holds evidence. Within these walls, significant historical events have occurred. Agreements were signed, revolutionary rallies were held, uprisings began. In this labyrinth, witnesses of time, the elders who pass legends to their grandchildren, and craftsmen who keep the secrets of ancient techniques. In every corner of the bazaar, there is a memory of the past that becomes the foundation for the future. But amidst this historical depth, there is also mystery. Narrow streets hiding secret passages, small arches concealed behind facades. All of this is like a labyrinth of memory, where the secrets of ancient trade routes and legends passed down orally are hidden. It is said that deep within the bazaar lies not only the wealth of goods, but also a treasure trove of secrets, stories of lost treasures, legends of ancient masters who disappeared over time. What secrets do these stone corridors hold? What legends still live in the shadows of domes and arches, waiting for their moment to come to light? The Grand Bazaar is not just a place of trade. It is a living organism, breathing, changing, yet preserving its soul. Its narrow streets are a vessel of time, capturing the spirit of an entire era. In every stone, in every display, there is evidence that culture, traditions, and history can be stronger than time. And it is precisely because of this that, despite everything, the Grand Bazaar continues to exist, remaining a center of attraction, a meeting place, and a keeper of the country's most important secrets and legends. So why is it alive? Why do thousands of people continue to come here, to seek and find, in goods, in conversations, in the silence of old courtyards? Because in its narrow, mysterious streets lies not only history, but also the soul of a people who do not give up, who continue to believe in the power of their culture. And this faith is its strongest armor against time, its brightest spark that will never fade. In the depths of the ancient city, where every street holds its secrets, and every crack in the stone pavement is a testament to centuries-old traditions, lies the Grand Bazaar, the heart and soul of Iran. This labyrinth of narrow passages, infused with the scents of spices, woolen carpets, and mysterious notes of ancient legends, breathes history like a living organism. It is not just a place of trade. It is a living chronicle, a testament to the richness of a culture shaped over centuries by continuous streams of people's beliefs and crafts. Here, under the domed arches, stained glass and mosaics create a play of light and shadow, turning each passage into an art gallery. Inside, Intricate patterns carved from wood and laid out in ceramic tiles speak of the architects, craftsmanship, their patience, and love for their work passed down from generation to generation. These patterns are not just decorations, they are a language spoken by our ancestors, creating a space filled with harmony and symbolism. The domes rising above the bazaar, like a reminder of the celestial sphere, connect the earthly with the divine, transforming trade into an act of spiritual connection. At every turn, displays filled with carpets seem to hold the secrets of ancient lands. Their patterns are not just geometry, but a conversation with the past, with legends of wise craftsmen weaving the threads of fate into every loop. Fabrics embroidered with golden threads shine like stars in the darkness of night, and jewelry, silver and gold, with stones that speak of wealth and spirituality. In these creations lies the breath of folk traditions. They are testimonies of artisanal glory preserved for centuries. And all this is not a museum, but a part of a living culture that does not break, does not disappear, but continues in every movement, in every glance. But it is not only the items that attract attention. In the displays, one can see antique objects that have passed through fire and water, keepers of history and legends. Here are ancient weapons, dishes, and jewelry that tell of eras when Iranian cities were centers of trade, science, and culture. These objects are not just exhibits but witnesses of past times, a reminder that history holds evidence of human craftsmanship and spiritual values. And, of course, the bazaar is also about cuisine. The aromas of freshly cooked kebabs, fragrant pilafs, and spicy dishes fill the air in the rhythm of trading voices, turning the space into a culinary center. The hospitality of Iranians is expressed not only in words, but also in the ability to share food, in the ability to offer a guest a cup of mint tea that dissolves in the mouth and leaves a taste of warmth and homely comfort. In every dish, there are traditions and faith. In every gesture, there is a history passed down from generation to generation. Trade here is not just an exchange of goods. It is a whole culture of dialogue, the art of negotiation, respect, and mutual care. Buyers and sellers engage in endless conversations where price is just a part of the dialogue. Trust and respect are more important. The traditions of hospitality, deeply rooted in the culture, turn any exchange into an act of spiritual unity. This ritual seems timeless. It is the foundation of the Iranian character, its spiritual depth. Despite modernity, with its shopping centers and trendy stores, the bazaar remains a symbol of fundamental values, a guardian of spiritual heritage. Why is that? Why, despite all the changes, is it here, among the narrow alleys and bustling shops, that one feels the breath of the ancient Iranian soul? Perhaps because the bazaar is a mirror of the people, their history, their passions, and their faith. Here, every crack in the wall, every pattern, every smile, is evidence that culture, despite the centuries, is inextricably linked to the place, its history, and its people. In these narrow alleys, not only goods are hidden, but also the values that shape Iranian identity. Respect for traditions, belief in spiritual wealth, hospitality, and the ability to find joy in small things. All of this permeates the atmosphere of the bazaar. It is not just a place for shopping. It is a symbol of spiritual depth, a meeting place of past and present, where every thread, every pattern, and every word fills the space with meaning. And this is what makes it unique, not only as a marketplace, but as a living testament to a culture that does not disappear, but strengthens, passing its wisdom from generation to generation like an endless chain linking the ages. As we walk through these narrow streets, we become part of this chain. We hear the voices of the sellers, smell the aromas, see the bright colors of carpets and fabrics, and understand, behind every item is a story, behind every gesture is a tradition, behind every smile is respect for the past, And all this is not just part of tourism or culture, but the living heart of the country, beating in every corner, in every person, in every glance, in every legend passed down by word of mouth. Here, in the shaded recesses of the bazaar, lie the values that make Iran eternal and its people invincible in their spiritual depth and richness. In the next chapter, we will venture into modern Tehran to understand how this ancient culture blends with the rapidly changing reality of the metropolis. But now, as we already feel the breath of the bazaar, we ask ourselves, why do this labyrinth, these narrow alleys and trading rows, remain a symbol of fundamental Iranian values? What is so powerful about them that even centuries of change could not distort their essence? The answer is hidden in the very atmosphere, in the aromas, in the sounds, in the faces of the people, in their faith and respect for traditions. This place is not just a marketplace, it is a living testament to the history, culture, and spirit of Iran, embodying all the values of its people, their legends, and faith. And therein lies the strength of the bazaar. It has not disappeared, not overshadowed by modern technologies. It continues to live, because it is the heart of the country, its spiritual core, its memory, and its future. In every carpet pattern, in every craftsman's gesture, in every seller's word, the voice of an era is heard, teaching us to value roots, traditions, and spirituality. It is precisely because of this that the bazaar remains a symbol of indomitable Iranian identity, a guardian of its eternal values that make this nation invincible in the face of time and change. In the heart of Western Asia lies a city named Tehran, a city that at first glance seems merely a capital, a political center, and a dynamic metropolis. But it is much more. It is a gateway to a rich history, a testament to eras where culture intertwined with nature and traditions with modernity. But what lies behind the facade of this vast city? Why can't stereotypes imposed from outside fully reveal the true essence of Iran? What secrets do its mountains, forests, lakes, and glaciers hold? In this narrative, we will embark on a journey through Tehran and its surroundings to understand why this country is not only a land of ancient legends, but also a living organism, rich in natural treasures and cultural diversity. Tehran is a city with a population of over 16 million people. This is not just a number on paper, but a testament to how vast and complex this metropolis is. It grows, breathes, changes, revealing new facets of its soul with every street. A city where concrete jungles coexist with narrow alleys of old quarters, and the noise of cars and the hum of markets merge into the polyphony of life. In this city, the rhythm of constant movement is felt. It is the heart of a country that is itself a living museum, filled with contrasts and contradictions. Iran is a country with a population exceeding 90 million. This nation, with a rich history and ancient traditions, has passed through centuries, preserving its unique identity. The name Iran comes from the word Aryan, meaning land of the Aryans, a testament to ancient roots reaching back to a distant era. Such origins fill the country with pride for its antiquity, for traditions passed down from generation to generation. History holds evidence that Iran is not only the birthplace of great empires, but also a region where cultural values, religious beliefs, and folk customs have been formed over centuries. Despite stereotypes of deserts and lifeless expanses, the reality of Iran is much more complex and astonishing. Only about 22% of its territory is covered by sands. The rest is occupied by the richness of natural landscapes, dense forests, high mountain ranges, sparkling lakes, and glaciers. These facts testify that Iran is a country where natural resources and the beauty of the environment play a crucial role in the lives of its people. In the northern regions are majestic mountains such as the Zagros and Alborz, true giants guarding ancient forests and valleys. There, among the greenery and stone peaks, the breath of centuries is felt, and it seems that nature itself guards its secrets, not allowing them to disappear. The Caspian Sea coast is another important element of this natural wealth. Along its shores lie nature reserves where rare species of animals and plants have been preserved. These places are evidence that Iran is not only a country of history but also a guardian of unique flora and fauna, part of the world's natural treasure. In these corners, a special energy is felt, the power of nature, which has fought for centuries for its right to exist and develop. Modern Tehran is a dynamic center of politics, economy, and culture. Life bustles in its streets. It is home to the largest museums, theaters, universities, and architectural monuments. The city, which simultaneously holds the heritage of ancient civilizations and looks to the future, is a place where the past and present intertwine in an invisible dance. Here, among glass and steel, the voice of traditions is heard, living in every movement, in every glance. Every corner of this city is a testament to the struggle to preserve cultural identity, to the right to be oneself amidst global changes. But this rich and complex world is not only stone and concrete, not only ancient ruins and modern skyscrapers. Hidden within are even more important stories, the stories of women, their status, their struggles, and hopes. We will tell about this in the next chapter, because understanding a country is impossible without looking at its people, their destinies, and dreams. So the question arises, why, despite stereotypes and one-sided perceptions, is Iran a country with rich nature and cultural diversity? Why are its mountains and forests, lakes and glaciers not just natural objects, but testimonies of history that hold evidence that this land is alive, breathing, full of contradictions and harmony? Why do hidden riches, traditions, and natural landscapes make Iran a unique country where the past and future are intertwined in a continuous flow of time? The answer lies in the fact that the true face of Iran is not only its stereotypes. It is its nature, its mountains, its forests, its reserves, its traditions, which live in the hearts of people. It is a country that holds many secrets, each a particle of its unique soul. And if we learn to listen to this soul, to understand its voice, we will discover the true beauty and wealth of this ancient, yet eternally young country. Because it is in these hidden riches, in their harmony with modernity, that the secret of Iran lies, a country that defies stereotypes and reveals itself only to those ready to see more than meets the eye. In the heart of modern Iran, in its bustling cities and quiet villages, lives one of the most contradictory and multifaceted themes, the fate of women. Iran is a country of ancient legends and steadfast traditions, where history holds evidence of ancient civilizations, and modernity increasingly fights for the right of every woman to be heard. But what lies behind the facade of progress, and what is the true status of women in this country? In this narrative, we will attempt to reveal not only the facts and figures, but also the vibrant fabric of their lives, infused with the aromas of spicy dishes, the noise of city streets, the whispers of ancient legends, and the voices of those fighting for their rights. So our focus is on the women of Iran. Evidence suggests that despite numerous restrictions, they possess rights that seemed unattainable not long ago. They have the right to study at universities, their voices are heard in student auditoriums, and they hold positions in business, culture, and politics. However, history retains evidence of ancient rules and modern laws that leave their marks on their destinies. A woman in Iran can own property, choose a spouse, work, and receive an education, facts that testify to her equality. Yet, there is another side of the coin. To travel abroad, a woman must obtain permission from her husband or father. This fact serves as a reminder that, despite formal autonomy, there is still a hidden patriarchal power in society. After all, permission is not just a bureaucratic formality. It is a testament that the right to freedom of movement often still depends on a man's opinion. In recent years, efforts have been made to expand women's rights. Laws are changing, new initiatives are emerging, but restrictions remain, a shadow looming over their every step. The women's movement is not only a struggle for equality, but also active participation in politics, business, and culture. Women are starting businesses, holding leadership positions, performing on stage, and in parliament. Their presence is evidence of the changes occurring within society, despite external barriers. They are living proof that the strength of spirit and the desire to change one's destiny are not subject to laws and traditions. However, in society, there is still the mandatory wearing of the hijab, a symbol of religious identity, a law that dictates a woman's appearance. This law is not just a clothing requirement, it is a matter of control and personal freedom, dividing Iran into regions and social strata. In the capital, Tehran, and in some areas of the country, women can appear without a hijab, especially in less religious and more liberal segments of society. There, among young people, in cafes and on the streets, you can see women demonstrating their independence, their views and desires. But even in these places, behind the outward display of freedom lies tension, an internal conflict between tradition and modernity. Recent events, protests, changes in laws, public discussions are all evidence that the situation is changing. The law on wearing the hijab has become less strictly enforced, which can be interpreted as a sign that society is seeking new paths, new forms of expressing its identity. Iranian society continues to engage in dialogue about the role of women, their future, and the boundaries of traditions and possibilities. Time shows that new ideas and perspectives are emerging within the country. Youth, activists, artists, and scientists are all united by a desire for change. But the question remains, why, despite official rights, do women face restrictions and stereotypes? Why do patriarchal attitudes and religious norms continue to influence their destinies? Why, even when laws allow them to study, work, and participate in public life, do many still feel pressure and limitations? The answer lies in the deep layers of culture, in a history that holds evidence of the eternal struggle between tradition and progress. The internal contradictions of the country are reflected in the fates of its women. They are witnesses and participants in this conflict, symbols of change and conservation. Their destinies are a mirror of society, where the struggle for freedom and equality continues despite all obstacles. And in this context, the main question arises, what next? What changes are occurring in the role of women, and what does this mean for the future of the country? Time shows that changes are happening, albeit slowly and with difficulty. Every woman who dares to remove her hijab on the street, every activist advocating for rights, they are all writing a new page of history. This is not just a fight for personal freedoms, it is an attempt to redefine the very essence of Iranian society, its values and views. Thus, in this story, there are not only facts and figures, not only traditions and laws. It is a story of people whose destinies are intertwined with the fate of the country, their hopes, fears, dreams, and struggles. All of this shapes the image of modern Iran, its contradictory, complex, yet always vibrant and dynamic world. This is a story that continues to be written, and each new day adds new facts, new evidence, new voices. And perhaps, one day, among the bustling streets of Tehran and the quiet mountain valleys, a voice will say, "Enough! It is time for change." This narrative is not just a description of the status of women in Iran. It is an analysis, a reflection, and a challenge to understand what it means to be a woman in this country today, and to understand that this struggle is not only theirs, it is a reflection of the entire country, its soul, and its future. In the dark embrace of night, Tehran reveals its most unexpected facets, as if coming alive under the cover of darkness, hiding behind facades that seem strict and restrained by day. In this city, where the usual entertainment venues familiar to many Western countries are officially absent, nightlife becomes a unique phenomenon, a living testament to the inner energy, the relentless quest for freedom, and cultural expression. It is at night that Tehran transforms into a place where traditions intertwine with modernity, and the city streets are filled with a special rhythm that cannot be heard in the daytime hustle. The Sadagia district is the heart of nightlife. It is a place where bustling streets filled with youth and street entertainment enthusiasts turn into a living organism, pulsating under the light of bright lamps and neon lights. Here, among the narrow alleys, shops, open cafes, and street stalls, there is a spark of freedom that continues to burn despite all restrictions. In the evening, these streets are filled with the sounds of conversations, laughter, and music. They seem like a protest against the gray, everyday life, an attempt to keep the inner fire alive in the heart of the city, where every night is a chance to express oneself. Real estate prices in this area testify to the cost of living, which remains unattainable for most. The price per square meter is about $1,700, a sum that becomes an unreachable dream for the average Iranian. The average salary in Tehran is just over $250, making the purchase of one's own home practically impossible for most people. In such a situation, nightlife becomes not just entertainment but a form of resistance, a way to feel alive, to find warmth and light in the dark corners of the city, where every evening turns into a celebration. But how can it be explained that despite economic constraints, existing bans, and strict rules, the city's nightlife culture continues to thrive? Why do young people, families, and individuals gather on the streets despite the risks and distrust from the authorities? Analysis shows that it is in this conflict that the heart of Tehran's mystery lies. Behind the facades of strictness and official prohibitions hides a deep desire for freedom, a need to find a place where one can leave behind the masks of the day and taste real life. The night streets become an arena where traditions coexist with modernity, where ancient legends and new ideas intersect in an elusive dance. On weekdays, when most people return home after a workday, the central streets remain lively. Especially on weekends, the night city seems to awaken anew, filled with the sounds of music, mocking laughter, and the aromas of street food. At this time, diverse groups gather here: students, artists, musicians, entrepreneurs, and simply adventurers. They are united by one simple but powerful idea: the night is a time to shed shackles, celebrate freedom, and feel part of the big living organism, Tehran. Nightlife is not just entertainment. It is a cultural phenomenon that combines traditional and modern practices. In street cafes, percussion plays, and folk music, despite its antiquity, resonates in the hearts of the younger generation. Meanwhile, modern art objects, graffiti, and street exhibitions appear throughout the area, reflecting the spirit of the times, protest, and the search for new forms of expression. Here, in the darkness, ideas are born that may later become part of national identity, cultural dialogue, and the formation of a new image of the city. The time of day in Tehran takes on special significance. The night fills the city with magic and mystery. This is a time when the city seems to change, becoming more mysterious, more intimate. In the dark alleys, stories are hidden, testimonies of the past and present. In every corner you can hear the whisper of legends, hear the voice of long-gone times that seem to come alive under the starlight. In this context, nighttime Tehran is a place where the past and future meet, where traditions struggle and coexist with modern trends, creating a unique cultural cocktail. This internal conflict, this struggle between constraints and freedom, between tradition and progress, is the reason why nightlife continues to evolve. The desire to preserve its values while seeking new forms of expression is the driving force that keeps Tehran from sinking into despondency. Night culture becomes a symbol of inner strength, a testament to the fact that even under pressure and prohibitions, people seek ways to feel free, to find warmth and light that cannot be controlled. And so, in this vibrant, noisy, sometimes chaotic, and at times dangerous world of nighttime Tehran, secrets are hidden that speak of the city's inner soul. It is a place where legends and dreams live, where every sound, every light is a testament to the struggle for the right to be oneself. Nighttime Tehran is not just a city. It is a living story of people, their hopes and fears, of traditions and changes, of how, in the heart of this ancient yet simultaneously young city, the endless story of searching for oneself and freedom continues. This city never ceases to amaze, it never stops living. It keeps its secrets, and every evening reveals new facets of its complex, multi-layered soul. And it is in this that its true magic lies, in the ability to maintain its identity no matter what, in the eternal struggle between walls, prohibitions, and the unending thirst for freedom, which, like light in the darkness, breaks through any barriers, filling nighttime Tehran with the eternal breath of life. A profound city, rich with noise, sense, and history, Tehran. In its heart, life boils, but behind the facades of modern streets and majestic buildings lie anxieties and trials that are not always visible at first glance. This city is a testament not only to human resilience, but also an embodiment of the contradictions that permeate the destinies of its millions of inhabitants. Here, every day is a struggle for survival, for a dream, for the chance to feel part of a vast world that seems unreachable. And yet, despite all the difficulties, Tehranis continue to live, continue to love, continue to dream. Why? What keeps them afloat? What inner forces and cultural values help them overcome this economic storm unfolding before their eyes? Here, on the streets of the ancient city, every brick, every crack, is a reminder that history keeps its evidence in the most unexpected places. In the Saragiye district, the heart of old Tehran, where narrow alleys intertwine with modern avenues, one must understand. The price of an apartment is like an invisible barrier that separates the dream of owning a home from reality. The average price per square meter here is approximately 11 million rials. In more familiar terms, this is a substantial amount of money, accessible to only a few. This district, once a symbol of progress and cultural life, is today a place where dreams of a spacious apartment turn into an unattainable illusion for most. Here, in cramped apartments, the smell of fresh pastries mingles with the aromas of spices, and the voice of a vendor shouting his wares can be heard. But behind this lively scene lies another, more troubling picture. The average salary in the city is just over $250 a month. For many, this is the only source of income, barely covering basic needs. The times when one could hope for a quick rise and a comfortable life have passed. Now most Tehranis live in a state of constant economic struggle. To save for their own housing, they have to set aside part of their salary for decades. And even with such efforts, the average worker must save for almost 20 years to accumulate the amount needed to purchase an apartment on the outskirts of the city, let alone in the center. Time is their most precious resource, as inflation, like an invisible enemy, eats away at savings, making them less valuable. Constant price fluctuations and currency devaluation turn life into a long, exhausting struggle for stability. Housing loans are rare and often inaccessible to ordinary people. Strict conditions, high interest rates, and the risk of rejection make mortgages a luxury that only a few can afford. As a result, most families are forced either to live in cramped apartments or to seek alternative paths, sometimes resorting to help from relatives or borrowing from local lenders. All this creates an atmosphere of exceptional social tension, heightened by the contrast between wealth and poverty, between those who can afford comfort and those who struggle just to have a roof over their heads. High real estate prices here are a testament not only to the economic situation, but also a reflection of the limited availability of apartments. In a city where land and construction are scarce, demand grows faster than supply. As a result, the price per square meter is like the edge of a blade, slicing through the social space. This division between the rich and the poor, between those who can afford to live in the center and those who must settle for the outskirts, has become part of everyday reality. Society feels this rift. The youth, who were recently inspired by ideas of change, now face a desperate reality. To become a homeowner, one must either wait for decades or seek extraordinary paths. Within this city lies an internal conflict that is hard to conceal. There is pressure on dreams, on ambitions, on the future. For many, this feeling is like a shadow, looming over each new day. What if all this is just an illusion? What if the chance to change one's destiny slips away forever? And yet, despite all these challenges, people do not give up. Their inner strength is an integral part of their culture, their history, their spirit. They continue to live because a flame of hope burns in their hearts, because within each person there is a belief that even in the darkest night, light can be found. The central question that echoes through this chaos and struggle is why? Why, despite all the economic hardships, do the residents of Tehran continue to live, to develop, and not give up? Why do they not flee, seeking salvation abroad, but remain in this city, in this constant struggle? Analysis shows that the reason is not only in material values. At the heart of every Tehrani is a culture that has shaped resilience, respect for traditions, and a deep sense of community over centuries. In the crucible of difficulties, they find strength in their roots, in a history that holds testimonies of survival, of resistance. This is not just a city with high prices and a complex economy. It is a city where new hope is born every day, where inner strength and cultural values help overcome challenges. This is what makes Tehran unique. In this city, there are no simple answers, only endless struggle and faith. Faith in the future, in the possibility of change, in the power of the human spirit. Inner strengths, cultivated over centuries, help overcome fears and despair. People here live not only for material survival, but also to preserve their identity, their traditions, their culture. In this metropolis, full of contradictions, a special energy is born, the energy of those who believe that even in the toughest conditions, one can find their path. And this energy is the main answer to why Tehran, despite everything, continues to exist and develop, preserving its unique soul. A city that seems contradictory and complex is not just a place where price shadows loom over lives. It is a place where people, despite all difficulties, continue to fight for their dreams, for their lives. This is a testament to the strength of culture, which helps them hold on, no matter what. This is a story of resilience, of faith, and of inner strength that continues to inspire and fills this city with a special, unique spirit. Tehran is not just a city on a map. It is a living organism, where every crack and every heart beats in the rhythm of struggle and hope. And this is its true essence. Tehran is a city that does not rest, a city where every street is steeped in centuries-old history. Every building is a witness to eras, and every shadow is a reminder of the struggle for the future. Its image is not just a map, not a collection of facts and figures. It is a living, breathing entity that holds secrets, contradictions, and hopes. In this city, where antiquity and modernity intertwine so closely that their boundaries blur, every street tells its unique story, and every person is part of a grand mosaic of times. Tehran is a city whose roots stretch back through centuries, to eras when legends and myths still lingered on the earth. Its architecture is a living testament to historical changes. Majestic mausoleums and ancient bazaars stand alongside glossy skyscrapers and ultra-modern residential complexes. The sky over the city is often shrouded in a heavy veil of dust and smoke, and the air is filled with the scent of spices, coffee, and old stone walls. These scents are like threads connecting the past with the present, reminding us that in this city, every moment is the result of a long history, every building a monument to an era. Around 16 million people live in Tehran. Their faces, their stories, their dreams create the unique fabric of the city. Here, different destinies, different perspectives on life, different traditions are woven into a single stream of life. The diversity of the people is not just statistics. It is living evidence that this city is the heart of the country, where every voice matters, where culture thrives despite everything. The city is like a giant kaleidoscope, where each part reflects its uniqueness, and together they create an incredible picture. The country of Iran is not just Tehran, it is an endless palette of natural beauty. From the snow-capped mountain peaks that seem to guard the city to the green forest expanses and endless seashores, everything here speaks of diversity and richness. Majestic mountains rise like ancient sentinels over the plains, their peaks hidden in clouds, and in their shadows lie legends of ancient nomads and heroes. Forests and valleys hold warm memories of a traditional way of life, of crafts passed down from generation to generation. In this natural diversity lies the essence of the country, its strength, its spirit. Culture in Tehran is not just a phrase, it is a breath that permeates every street, every heart. The city has preserved crafts that have been handed down for centuries: ceramics, carpet weaving, calligraphy. These arts are evidence that culture does not die but transforms, adapting to new times while preserving its depth. In museums, markets, and homes, the voices of masters can be heard, elegantly recreating ancient patterns, creating the feeling that time flows here according to special laws. Women in Tehran are a symbol of struggle, hope, and change. Despite restrictions, they participate in public life, showing courage and determination. Their eyes are full of resolve to change their fate and the fate of the country. In narrow streets, in cafes, and on university campuses, their voices can be heard, sometimes quietly, sometimes loudly, but always with the confidence that change is possible. The feminine energy here not only fills the city with new ideas, but also incites an internal conflict, a confrontation between tradition and modernity, the old and the new. This internal dialogue is an integral part of life in Tehran, a reflection of the very essence of the country. The nightlife, the street districts, they are living testimonies to the internal dynamics, the desire for freedom, and the search for new paths. Dark alleys with bright garlands, bustling markets selling everything from fragrant spices to antique books. All of this is like a heart beating in rhythm with the city's pulse. Here, the elderly share legends, and the youth seek their future. The city is vibrant. It is a living organism where every movement is filled with meaning. In its shadows lie stories of the struggle for rights, dreams of freedom, and hope that one day everything will change. Despite economic hardships, the people of Tehran maintain pride in their culture and their country. Their faces are testimonies of resilience, their gazes proof of faith in the future. In every gesture, in every look, there is an unwavering belief. No matter what, their city is their home, their history, their hope. And in this struggle to preserve identity, to have the right to be themselves, lies the essence of the city. What makes Tehran truly unique? Its past, its present, or its future? This question hangs in the air like a warm aroma of coffee filling the streets. History holds evidence that this place is not just a point on the map, but a symbol of complexity, contradictions, and hopes. In its archives are legends of ancient empires. In its people, the spark of change. And in its future, prospects the potential for transformation. It is simultaneously a museum of the past and a laboratory of the future. What discoveries await Tehran? What changes will ignite in its streets, in its hearts? And can this city preserve its unique identity amidst the whirlwind of global changes? These questions are like the quiet whispers of the wind that permeate its streets, reminding us that a city is not just walls and streets but a living mirror of the eras in which it lives and evolves. Its future is not just a prospect, it is a challenge that it accepts with pride and hope. And as long as the energy of struggle and the aspiration for freedom beat in its heart, Tehran will continue to be a city that does not rest, a city where the past and the future fight for the present, creating a unique symphony of time.